Hello and welcome to Undead Gaming News, your one-stop shop for all things gaming. I'm your host Zombie, and first up this week we have Modern Warfare 2, as they have now announced that people who have pre-ordered the game digitally will be able to play the campaign a week before the game launches. You'll be able to download the game and then launch it on October 20th and play the campaign before the game launches on October 28th. And obviously if you pre-ordered the game via a physical copy, then that will obviously arrive on October 28th, and those who have pre-ordered on the digital version will get full access to the game on October 28th, but you'll only have the campaign on October 20th. In other news, FIFA 23 has gone up for pre-order around the world, and it's supposed to be at full retail price, but on the Epic Games Store in India it was listed for 480 rupees, which is the equivalent of 6 cents USD. This error has since been fixed and seems to have been caused by a misplacement of the decimal when typing in the price. However, EA has now made a statement about the situation, saying we scored a pretty spectacular own goal when we inadvertently offered FIFA 23 pre-purchase on the Epic Games Store at an incorrect price. It was our mistake, and we wanted to let you know that we will be honouring all pre-purchases made at that price. I was quite surprised by their response, considering that they've basically sold a bunch of copies of the game for 6 cents each in India, and that they're still going to give all those people the game, rather than just refund them the rupees that they'd spent, and then make them pay full price if they actually want the game, because that would be more like an EA thing to do. But it's good to see that they're actually still going to honour that pre-order purchase, even though it was at the wrong price. In other news, we have a new South Park game that has been teased by THQ Nordic. At the end of the stream, when THQ Nordic said it had 26 unannounced games still in development, it was then scratched out to change to 25, after showing the South Park Digital Studios logo alongside audio of Randy Marsh saying,
Hot, 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 hot! It's coming!
It's unclear what platforms this game will be on, or if it will be similar to the previous games in the franchise, as it was mentioned last year that a 3D South Park game could be in the works, but we don't know if it's the same game or if it's a different one. All we know for sure is that this one will be a completely original story, although it does incorporate characters and places and themes that fans will be familiar with. Within that showcase they also showed off a game called Tempest Rising, which THQ Nordic will be collaborating with 3D Realms and Slipgate Ironworks to release. It's a new RTS that's paying homage to the classic RTSs like the original Command & Conquer games. It's been announced that it will be arriving in 2023, and it has 3 factions in total, 2 of which have a campaign to play. Tempest Rising focuses on a conflict over a nuclear-fueled plant that produces pure liquid energy, and the factions are Global Defense Forces, which are a peacekeeping organisation with advanced tech, and there's the Tempest Dynasty, which is a resistance against the Global Defense Forces, with overwhelming firepower and impressive defences, and the third faction has yet to be announced. Over on Steam there's a new update that's brought a much needed feature that users have wanted for a long time. It's a simple feature. It's an Add to Library option for free titles. The new Add to Library button appears on the Steam desktop client besides free items on the storefront, including free games, free-to-play games, games that are temporarily free in a giveaway, and free DLC. In other news, PUBG went free back in January of this year and has since increased its player base as expected. Krafton appears to be very happy with the changes, as the player base is not the only thing that has increased. The player base went up by 80,000 players since January, but its revenue is also up, with average revenue per user up by more than 20% quarter over quarter. The news comes courtesy of the company's revenue report for the first half of 2022. The transition to marketing the game for free has opened up the floodgates to brand collaborations, most recently with Assassin's Creed, and the publisher's earnings report also reiterated its commitment to Unknown Worlds, which is their new IP, which will be revealed at Gamescom. Another new game that's on the way is a new Lord of the Rings title. Private Division, the publisher behind titles including The Outer Worlds, Hades, and Oli World, announced on Twitter that it will be publishing a new game set in the literary Middle-earth universe of J.R.R. Tolkien. The game is being developed in partnership with Weta Workshop, which is a New Zealand-based prop company that contributed a number of intricate models used in the Peter Jackson film trilogy. Weta Workshop established a game development studio back in 2014, and last November it was revealed that the team will be working on a game relating to a major IP. So it's pretty safe to say that this was the IP that they was referring to. Private Division has said that Middle-earth Enterprises, which controls the rights to the franchise, have licensed the literary works of the series, providing Weta Workshop with the broadest creative license to interpret the underlying lore of the books. Beyond that, what we know is that the title is in early development and expected to launch during the 2024 fiscal year. But speaking of the licensing around The Lord of the Rings, we have Embracer Group making more acquisitions. In a series of press releases, Embracer Group announced that it had agreed to acquire a number of companies. It's also launching its 11th operating group, which will be named Embracer Free Mode. and will focus on the retro, classic, and heritage gaming category, as well as investing in iconic gaming and entertainment properties. The full list of acquisitions that are confirmed are as follows. Middle-earth Enterprises, which of course owns the IP rights to the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit. Then there's Limited Run Games, which is a collector-focused physical video game publisher. Tuxedo Labs, which is a Swedish studio specialising in tech-driven games. Their first title was Teardown. Tripwire Interactive, which is a US studio best known for Maneater, Killing Floor, and Rising Storm. And then there's String Tricks, which creates vocal processing effect technology for karaoke, gaming, and equipment. And then there's Tatsujin, which is Embracer's first Japanese studio, founded by Topland's co-founder. There's also Bitwave Games, which is a Swedish studio with a passion for retro games. Geotech, which is a gaming accessory brand. And then there's another company within PC console gaming that, for commercial reasons, has not been disclosed. According to Embracer, the acquisitions of Middle-earth Enterprises, Limited Run Games, Tuxedo Labs, Tripwire Interactive, String Tricks, and the undisclosed company have a combined upfront cost of 6 billion Swedish krona, which is the equivalent of $576 million, with further payments linked to financial and operational targets, bringing the total potential cost to 8.2 billion Swedish krona, which is $787 million. Also in the news, we have a new season that's dropped for Apex Legends, which has sent the player count soaring and setting a brand new Steam concurrent player count record. As recorded by Steam charts, Apex Legends has set an all-new concurrent peak of over 500,000 players the day after the new season launched. It was 510,286 people, to be precise. That means it now joins the likes of PUBG, Lost Ark, CSGO, Dota 2, Elden Ring, New World, and Cyberpunk 2077 as one of the handful of games to have ever broken the 500,000 milestone on Steam. Of course, Steam only represents a fraction of the players playing the new season, as there's also the players on EA's Origin storefront, and of course the console players as well. Also in the news is Dead Island 2. 9 years after its initial reveal, Dead Island 2 will apparently release on February the 3rd. According to a listing for the PlayStation version on Amazon. That's naturally subject to change, of course, and it could just be a placeholder, this being Dead Island 2, I wouldn't be surprised. Although Embracer Group's CEO stated that the game will be released in the company's 2023 fiscal year. It's been confirmed since 2014 that Dead Island 2 will have at least 4 playable characters, but the Amazon listing bumps that up to 6, while also stating you can fully customize the abilities of each Slayer, with our brand new skill system allowing you to respec instantly and try out the craziest builds. The listing is for the Day 1 edition, which comes with a bunch of cosmetics and an in-game baseball bat and a weapon perk. Dead Island 2 has already been confirmed as an Epic Store exclusive in terms of PC, and chances are the PC version won't receive a physical boxed copy, so whether or not the PC players will be able to get the Day 1 edition benefits too is unknown. I don't know about you, but I can't really get hyped for this game anymore since it's been in development hell for so long, and it didn't seem like it was ever coming for many years. It was announced in 2014, and then had multiple changes with the studios working on it. Jaeger Development was originally hired to develop Dead Island 2 in 2012, but was removed from the project in 2015, and then replaced by Sumo Digital the following year, and then Sumo Digital got removed from it and was replaced with Dambuster, which is an internal studio of Deep Silver. They became the developers in 2019. And throughout all that time, the only look at the game we've had is a trailer in 2014. And with the game changing hands multiple times since then, it's also possible that it's changed artistic direction as well. So I think we need to see something more updated. Another game that's practically been announced by Amazon listings is New Tales from the Borderlands, which is set for October 21st, according to its Amazon listing. The Amazon page is for all versions of New Tales from the Borderlands, which has also been confirmed to be its official title, shows the release date and price. It seems like Amazon got ahead of Gearbox on the announcement, as we've yet to see an official trailer for the follow-up, despite CEO Randy Pitchford teasing a summer reveal. New Tales from the Borderlands was announced back in April, with Gearbox taking development in-house rather than outsourcing to another studio as it did with the 2014 Tales from the Borderlands, which was developed by Telltale Games. Since we don't have a trailer, it's hard to say where Gearbox will be taking the series, now that it's given itself complete creative control. Pitchford has confirmed that the follow-up will feature all new characters and all new stories from Borderlands, so don't expect a direct continuation of the story from the first game. In other news, Avalanche Studios has reportedly been working on an Ironman game for 2 years before it was cancelled. Studio co-founder Christopher Sundberg revealed in an interview that company politics led to the cancellation of the project. Shortening development time is the main reason cited for the game's cancellation, with Disney reportedly demanding a massive hiring spree to complete the game 1 year earlier. According to Sundberg, this would have meant hiring 70 or 80 people to a team. The main issue with this is that once development of Iron Man would be winding down, the studio would then need to find a new project for the increased workforce, and with 1 year's less time to do it. He said it would have completely broken the studio to do that. Over at Bandai Namco, they released a new earnings report for the 3 months that end in June 2022, and it shows that Elden Ring has now sold a total of 16.6 million units, taking into account the figures from Bandai Namco's previous earnings reports. Elden Ring sold 3.2 million copies in the 3 months, and Bandai Namco has actually performed better during this quarter thanks to Elden Ring. Game sales accounted for 40.5 billion yen, which is an increase of 54.5% compared to the same period last year. To put the Elden Ring sales figures into context, the Dark Souls series has amassed a lifetime sale of 27 million copies, while Sekiro Shadows Die Twice has sold a total of 5 million copies as of July 2020. So Elden Ring has had quite a big jump for their units sold, and has easily become their most popular game, outselling its previous titles in a shorter span of time. Also in the news, we have Spider-Man Remastered recently launched on the PC, which as usual has attracted the attention of modders. Plenty of different mods have been made for the game, however one in particular has caused some controversy. The mod in question removed all pride flags from the game and replaced them with the US flag instead. The mod was uploaded to Nexus Mods using a Sock Puppet account, and Nexus swiftly removed the mod and banned the modder's Sock Puppet and main account. The people who run Nexus Mods released a blog post about the situation where they said, "The fact the user needed to make a Sock Puppet account like a coward to upload the mod showed their intent to troll, and they knew it would not be allowed. Had they not been a coward and used their main account instead, we would have simply removed the mod and told them that we did not want to host it, only banning them if they re-uploaded it again after being fairly warned. The creation of the Sock Puppet removed any doubt and made it a very easy decision for us. Both the Sock Puppet account and the user's main account have been banned." The blog post then goes on to say, "If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity and or diversity, then we'll take action against it. The same goes for people who are attempting to troll other users with mods deliberately to cause a rise. For our part, we will endeavour to do a better job of moderating our website to this ethos ourselves. We don't want to, and we won't argue this with you. We've now explained our stance, and we won't be providing a platform for you to distort our position in order to feed an irrational and paranoid narrative. You can do that elsewhere where we won't care enough to read it. If this policy upsets you, if we've broken some moral code of conduct as a business that you can't accept, then please delete your account and move on as we will." The mod was also uploaded to ModDB, which, after a few hours of Nexus Mods blog going live, has also removed the mod from their platform and banned all accounts associated with it. ModDB stated on Twitter, "ModDB is an inclusive environment for all, and we do not permit targeting marginalized groups. Our content moderation is largely automated, but when identified, we have a zero-tolerance policy for this kind of content." Over at Techland, they have teased an upcoming DLC for Dying Light 2, officially named Blood Ties. It was teased in a short and vague trailer. The video was uploaded to the Dying Light subreddit, and it's clear to see from the comments on that post that it's received mixed responses, even before the full trailer has been released. The main complaint at the moment is that the teaser makes the DLC look like it's just going to be an arena game mode, which, of course, is not something a lot of fans want. Bloody Ties is set to get a full reveal at Gamescom 2022, although to keep an open mind, one Reddit user noted, "It's called Story DLC 1, so I don't think it's going to be just an arena." Around a month ago, a data mine revealed that Dying Light 2 is getting some gladiator-themed story DLC, and it has to be said that we don't know if this is the same DLC as Blood Ties, but considering that the new content could be set in an arena, and the fact that gladiators used to fight in arenas, it could be related. In other news, a newly first-person horror-filled take on management sims like Stardew Valley is on the way, as a vampiric manager hotel game. It's called Bloody Hell Hotel. Players will assume the role of a vampire in the game, where they will have to renovate their hotel and look after the guests, but they can also choose to suck the blood of the guests, instead of letting them leave. The management sim picks up after the player wakes up from a centuries-long coma and finds their gigantic manor in ruins. It's then slowly turned into a prosperous hotel with a crypt buried underneath. And here, players can forage for items, crafting materials, and even fight their way through a monster-filled dungeon. Parts of the hotel can also be automated via vampiric powers that can be gained by consuming the blood of the guests, and the hotel staff can also be made up of other vampires. The player can forge their own weapons from scratch, choose materials, customize design, shape, etc. It's these choices combined with the unlockable combat skills and the use of vampiric powers that will play a major role in melee combat. I'd like to add that the combat isn't meant to be an adrenaline-filled experience, it's more casual in nature, so it fits well within the simulation genre. Think of it more as exploring the caves in Stardew Valley, but more in a twisted Tim Burton-like 3D world. The game is going to be coming to PC, but the release date is yet to be announced. We also have a new gameplay trailer for A Plague Tale Requiem, which shows that the game takes place a few months after the events of A Plague Tale Innocence, so it's during summertime. The Daroons are almost able to enjoy a normal life, but of course Hugo begins to have a reoccurring dream of an island that calls to him, and then his illness that's been dormant in him awakens, and the living nightmare begins again. It's set for release on October the 18th. I've recently started playing A Plague Tale Innocence on my gaming channel. If that's something that interests you, then I'll leave a link in the description for you to go check out. But aside from that, that's all we've got for this week. If you have any thoughts on anything talked about this week, please leave it in the comment section below as always, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.